All right, last week I quacked at Mike and it kind of confused him, so I'm not going to quack at you. But once again, Steelers Nation showed up in droves to Arizona, and Mr. Duck, the magnificent, beautiful Duck, performed one more time. However, Mike, you went through the stats of the game, and it was very interesting.
Well, the stats are great for me. You look at 16 for 19. You have 3 incompletions. The thing that really I liked was they ran the ball 35 times on the stats sheet. But 5 of them were Devlin Hodges scrambles. If you go back through I think it was the total pass plays. It was right around 30 pass plays to
nice balance, right?
35 runs, yeah. But on the stats, it's 19 pass plays to 35 runs. Okay, so it's a little skewed in that manner. I would like to see a little bit more run plays because on their long drives, they ran the ball typically 6, 7, 8 times when they were able to put points on the board, except for the 2-minute drill. But the thing I noticed was they're not going downfield, and he had 3 incompletions. One was a throwaway, and 2 of them were RPO runs, the situation where he's actually throwing the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Now, do you think he's comfortable enough?
And I don't like that. And that's the one thing that I would love to see the Steelers, because he's a rookie quarterback. He's still, he's got a lot to handle. He's got to, on a pass play, you got to read the defense, you got to read your keys and figure out where you're going to go with the football. And now, a lot of times on run plays, you call 2 plays in the huddle, kill, you go from run to a run, maybe right to the left, kill, run to a pass. And I like that, but I don't like when it's you can read the linebacker and you're going to pull it out and
on the RPO.
And then throw it out because the receiver's not really moving, and he threw one in the dirt to Deontay Johnson. That was his one incompletion. The other one he threw over his head, and he's inaccurate on those throws, which leads me to believe that he's not confident in that decision when he's making. So when he's extremely accurate, when he's confident when he's throwing,
there's no doubt.
That touchdown he threw to Deontay Johnson, that 4-yard touchdown, that ball was a low snap, first of all. And for him to be able to pick that up, he knew exactly where he was going with the football. Because here's the thing, if it was a read, he's going to sit there and read it out, he's going to go through his thing. But it was a low snap. So he actually reached down, picked up the ball, looked up, and then he didn't look at the defense. He just went right to it. So he knew he had one-on-one pre-snap read. So he comes up to the line of scrimmage. I got one-on-one out here. I like the route. I like the matchup. I'm going there no matter what. So even with the low snap, there was no second guessing. He went right to the throw and was perfect. High and away. The receiver can't get to it. Low and away, the DB can get underneath it. But the high and away throw, if the receiver doesn't get it, no one gets it. It was a perfect throw, great catch, all-around great play. So when he's confident, when he's going with the football, he is extremely accurate. Those RPOs, he's not confident on that decision. He's like, should I have pulled that? And then he makes a bad throw. And 2 of them, both times, he should have actually probably gave the ball on the run because there was some running room as well. But, and that could be maybe at a different key. But again, I would like to see them get away from the RPOs. Just, hey, we're going to run the ball in this play. We're going to pass it. You may be audible at the line of scrimmage with a built-in, but once the ball is snapped, get away from the I'm going to hand it off, or am I going to, let's not do that. He's not an option quarterback. He has enough speed and enough mobility.
Oh yeah, he can move, man.
He has enough speed and
you got that little duck waddle going.
To run when the defense is dropped into coverage, when they play man-to-man coverage, and there's no one's going to put a spy on Devlin Hodges like they're going to put on Lamar Jackson or even on Josh Allen. So he's got enough speed to be able to make those big plays. He had a 22-yard scramble this past week. But he doesn't have the speed and the mobility to run the design runs the way Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson does. So get that stuff out of the system, clear up the thinking process for him, and he'll do fine. But again, he had 2 pass interference balls that were downfield over 20 yards. Other than that, he had 1 pass, 20 yards, and 1 for 19 yards that traveled in the air. So you go through.
Hold on, there's a helicopter. I'm going to go Ernie Holmes on this thing.
So what I'm saying is, though, there's if you look at the film, they are protecting him a lot. Because 16 completions, 3 of them were over 19 yards. 1 on the scramble.
Right.
In the fourth
what
quarter,
were the rest of them, though?
And he had 11 passes that were thrown at 2 yards or less. And his shortest one was -3.
Think of that, 11 passes.
And his shortest one was -3 yards. It was 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He was in the shotgun. He catches the ball. He's at 4 yards. He turns and throws it to Diontae Johnson, who catches it 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And that was the one where he actually broke a tackle. He should have been tackled for a loss, but he broke the tackle, reversed his field, and took it all the way down to the 2-yard line, which is a huge play by Diontae Johnson. So he's getting, I mean, look, the defense is the defense are making plays. Some of the guys on offense, some of the young players. Last week, James Washington. This week, Diontae Johnson in the special teams game and in the offense. So they're still protecting him a little bit, but he's proving that he can go downfield.
Little more this week, right? Little more this week.
He's going to have to, because here's the thing: he faced the Los Angeles Chargers when they didn't have Melvin Ingram and they didn't have Bosa, and their defense at the time, when the Steelers played them back in Week 6, I went back and looked. The Chargers defense at the time was ranked 25th in the NFL. Okay,
right.
Then they play the Cleveland Browns, and they're ranked right around 18th. They're not a great defense, and they didn't have Myles Garrett. And now they played the Arizona Cardinals. Where are they ranked in the NFL?
Why was Myles Garrett out again? I forget. Why was Garrett out?
What are the Arizona Cardinals ranked defense? They were ranked.
Yeah, they're towards the bottom.
32nd.
Yeah.
They're 32nd. I looked. They're 32nd.
Mike, there's only 32 teams in the league, isn't there?
Yeah, they're 33rd. Okay. So what I'm saying is they haven't faced a top defense. The Buffalo Bills, they're ranked 3. Okay. The Steelers are ranked 5. Could you see Devlin Hodges going against his own defense? It would be tough, because they're a ball hawking defense.
Yeah, but he's been going against them all year.
So
think about that as the force. So he's been going against that defense all year,
which is great for him. Okay?
Yes, it is.
But he's going against them in the scout team earlier in the year. Now it's time. It's live bolts when they count. So he's going up against a top defense. This is going to be a huge test for the offense. The defense needs to step up. They need to get those turnovers. Coach Tomlin says we can't rely on those turnovers to win football games. We need the offense to step up. Well, they got some turnovers. They had a fumble. Kyler Murray put the ball on the ground. Yeah, they got 2 interceptions, so they had 3 turnovers there. The Steelers turned the ball over once.
No.
And with Benny Snell on a handoff.
Yeah.
And actually, Benny Snell should have followed Pouncey outside, and he would have never had that hit. He actually had an opportunity. And then they also ran the fake punt, which was a fake punt. It wasn't a fake punt. But to me, that is.
I'm like Tomlin on this. I don't even want to get into the fake punt, man.
Even though it was on a punting down and you're returning the ball over on a kick, where you put them in position, that was kind of a turnover. But then you look at the Steelers; they had a punt return, so that's kind of like almost a. I know it's not a touchdown for the offense. It kind of takes a drive away from them, but. That's kind of like a turnover. It's a big play right there as well. So
points any way you can get them.
They're constantly getting those turnovers. The offense needs to do a better job. They can't have those little hiccups where Benny Snell fumbles the ball. They have to take care of the football this week, and the defense is going to have to get some extra possessions, and the special teams have to step up and give the offense some short fields.
One of the nicest things that's emerged over the last several weeks, as we were coming out of camp, Mike, 2 things we recognized. One,
Devlin Hodges.
was Devlin Hodges, that's for sure. But also that Juju isn't a legitimate number 1 receiver. He doesn't have that breakaway speed. And the real problem was we were searching my kingdom for a second wide receiver. Now what's beautifully unfolded before us, Mr. Washington, Mr. Johnson, DJ, Deontay, these guys. Now look, I'm not putting them up there with AB category. I'm not putting them up there with whoever you want, but they're catching balls, they're getting open, and they got speed. If we get Juju back, you now have 2 young guys to take that pressure off of them, Mike.
James Washington, to me, he had the worst camp of all the receivers, but he's finally stepping up, and he's making some plays. He's actually making some big-time plays. This week, not a few catches here and there. Had a couple pass interference calls, but his ability to be able to go down the field and win some one-on-one jump balls, that is going to help when Juju comes back. The big play, the big guy, is Diontae Johnson. His ability to reverse field, run after the catch, make those plays. And then here's the thing, you say you're not going to compare to AB, but he's the first guy to return a punt since AB
215.
Yeah. So they compared him to Antonio Brown when he came out. Now
he's got a 5th gear. He's got a 5th gear.
Well,
we saw it.
And he's going to have to learn in the offseason how to work, how to train, and become that next level, that top tier receiver. But he has the tools right now, and it's definitely opened things up for the offense.
All right, kids, we're going to head down to Heinz Field for Sunday night's game. Steelers Nation, go down to Woolies, go down to Strip District and get yourself some buffalo steaks because we're going to feast on Sunday night.